Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Lebachang, but you get to know me as Elle of this very channel called ThroughEllesEyes. It's almost the end of January 2019. It's that dreaded month that people just hate with a passion because it just lingers on and on and on for financial, and other reasons. And for me, I really haven't posted much content in January because I devoted my time to actually carrying out an exercise that looks at what are the things that I really want to focus on in 2019, and it also speaks to the goal setting method as well as adopting the approach of making sure that your goals are SMART. The S is for specific, the M is for measurable, the A is for attainable or achievable, R is for realistic, as well as the T is for time bound. So I have 11 months to make sure that all the things that I've put on my vision board really are achieved. But it's also something that I need to be cognizant of, the fact that we have to also cut ourselves some slack and make sure that within the hits and misses, there are lessons that we have to learn. We won't always win. You know how a lot of people at the end of 2018 were like, yo, that year showed me flames because the things that I set up for myself I really didn't achieve. But I'm sure that there were lessons out there that made them much more resilient and have a different perspective and outlook on how to follow through on the goals that they set for the year. But without any further delay, I would like to get into our vision board for 2019, and I really hope that you get to enjoy it. Please drop your comments in the comment section below so that we can also talk about the things that we really want to do in 2019 and possibly push each other in the right direction and give each other tips on how to make sure that we live our best life really in every aspect. My things are mostly interrelated, so I think it would be very, very easy for me to do some things, others not so much, but they speak to my personal and professional development as well as making sure that this person is taken care of, so that those two other elements are fulfilled. So this is my vision board. I need to start and tell you that the first thing, I think it's my word for the year. I know for sure it's my word, and I thought about it and I sat quietly and I wanted to actually make sure that I live on purpose. And the word for the year for me is intentional. Just to make sure that everything that I do is just purpose-filled. I don't think that I can stress that enough because it just resonated with me. You don't want to go about life winging, you just have to have a plan, and also if it doesn't fill you up, it's draining you. So my word is intentional. Everything that I put my hands on, things that I think of, ideas that I want to execute, let it be purpose-filled. I need to be intentional about the things that I do, the actions that I carry out, the ideas that I engage with, how I approach situations. Intentional is the word. I'm going to go in this direction so that it's much more easy for you to comprehend and for me to kind of speak to the ideas, because I made sure that I, like I said, interlink things and make them relatable. And the first one, top priority, of course, is YouTube. But there's a South African flag and it's a YouTube logo that with the South African flag superimposed in it. And I honestly, apart from the word intentional, I would like to make sure that I collaborate and I engage with a whole lot of more South African YouTubers, or in the Southern African region and Africa as a whole, because I think, and I've been exposed to so many lovely content, and that's what I've also been doing, just looking at what people are doing, and I get so excited when I just see people doing amazing things. So that for me speaks volumes, and that's really something that I really want to do for the year of 2019. And it speaks to the next image of using social media effectively, just to make sure that I get brand out there. I tried and I've been doing it, and sometimes it gets so easy for one to do things in their workspace, because I work a lot in the marketing and communication space, but sometimes it becomes quite difficult to adopt and apply certain principles and ideas to a micro brand, because yes, companies have a lot of money to spend on making sure that the brand awareness is there. And for me, it's just using social media effectively to make sure that I also do things and fulfill my duty as a content creator purposefully. The next picture here, I have a story, well, not really a story to tell about it, but there have been quite a few people who have heard my voice recorded, and myself as well. I know that the power of listening and using my voice effectively, whether it's on an audio and using the different variances, the different pauses, pitches, and and pacing myself into doing and vocalizing certain things. And I remember my manager, when she first heard a recording of me or me doing an audio for some project that we were working on, she was like, both your voice, you need to go into voiceover artistry. And I was like, yeah, well, I was thinking about it, but and she's like, but what? And I was like, I don't know where to start. No, this is where you start. And so she gave me this plan, and I've been just really trying to ignore it, but I think maybe it's worth a shot. And she's not the only person, so it's definitely something that I'm willing to go into. And yeah, from a side hustle perspective, who knows, you might be hearing my voice in one of these radio or TV ads one day, maybe. The next picture speaks to me taking care of myself and just taking the time out to do the things that I love to do. And one of the things that I really love to do is to take myself out on solo dates. Solo dates are so important, in as much as that it's okay to go out with friends and family, but solo dates are also very vital, so that you just spend time with yourself, whether it's out for a cup of coffee, take your book along and read it, and you would be surprised at how good and relaxed you feel. In as much as it's good to have company around, I don't like the fact that we end up very dependent on others. So it's like you can't have fun, you can't travel, you can't for the life of you go and watch a movie alone. And I used to do this way back when, and I remember I told my friends, I think it was in varsity, I was like, I actually go to the movies alone, and they were like, are you crazy? But we've created this idea or lifestyle of dependency, and we're not even aware of the fact that we cannot spend time with ourselves, and that's very worrying. So for me, I really want to go out on a lot of solo dates, because being a wife, being a mother, being a friend, being a sister also comes with great responsibility, and we end up taking care of our family units. And if you can't take care of yourself, then you can't take care of them. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Now the next one under here is a picture of a girl that I can identify with. She looks much like me, and kudos to Google. I looked for a picture of a woman reading, and she was in the first bunch of searches. I didn't even have to refine it a lot, so that is an A+ for me. So I really would love to devote my time to reading this year. I feel like I dropped the ball the past 2 years. Yes, I was reading, but not so much. In the 2017 and 2018, I bought so many books, and they were piling up. I read a few here and there, some I didn't even complete, and I was like, is this what it has come down to? So I really want to devote my time to reading, because in my line of work, my vocabulary is just like my golden charm. The lexicon that I have is just one that I cannot go without in the line of work that I do. I need to read. I need to also stimulate my mind. I don't like watching TV at all. I prefer reading and word games and all those things above anything else. Now the next picture is of a book cover, and it's written The Ultimate South Africa Road Trip. This is a scenic picture. It's a very beautiful picture. I'm not too sure which region this is from, but the book cover just grabbed my attention, and the word on it, because I searched South Africa Road Trip, and one of the pictures that came out was that one, and I absolutely was taken by it. And can you believe it or not, guys, I have never been on a road trip in my life. I think there's a difference between a school trip where you guys are on a bus and a road trip with friends or family. I would really love to be on the open road with friends, where we have like pit stops and take pictures and take it all in, because with the school bus, I think I was in grade 11. You know, we were on the school bus and we were going on this sports tournament, and we traveled the garden route. So one of the things that I would really love to do is to go on a road trip. The one place that I really want to go to is the Titicaca, and let's just see how that works out. Next up is the Toastmasters International logo. Now, because last year I achieved my competent communicator title, I would just love to make sure that I achieve my competent leadership title, and just make sure that I've got both of those titles in total. Somewhere along the line, I would honestly love to join a professional association that is more aligned to my trade. There are so many benefits from this. Not only would I be part of a network of people that are able to engage about the same things that they experience in their space, but I would be exposed to industry trends and just make sure that I'm on top of my game when it comes to the marketing and comp space. So that's definitely something that I want to look at. And the two things at the bottom speaks to financial security. Firstly, this one is of a pie chart, and that focuses on investment. I want to take my investments very seriously this year, and I've really started on creating portfolios and looking at things that not only will create financial security for me, but just create generational wealth and security for my children, right? Their children and their children's children, and the savings. You know, I've got a piggy bank here, somebody dropping a 5 rand coin in it. I've always been a saver, and I don't want to stop anytime soon. There's this chart of money that you can save on a weekly basis. It's multiples of 20. So in the first week you save 20 rand, in the following week, in week 2 you save 40, and the week 3 60, and you just keep on adding 20 rand on every other end. And I think by the end of the 52 weeks you would have something close to over 27,000, and imagine what you can do with that. You can start a trust fund, you can do tax-free saving, you can open a tax-free savings account, and you would actually be like, I think 6,000 rands below the threshold, because with tax-free savings they've increased the limit from 30,000 to 33,000. Isn't that something that we want to do for ourselves? I'm definitely going to make sure that I play my part in changing the narrative when it comes to financial security and financial literacy in my circle of family and friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these 5 images speak to each other. Those are definitely interlinked. The first one says fall in love with taking care of yourself, mind, body and spirit, and the other one is be kind to yourself. Now, in the video of the 2018 review, I did mention that I failed to pause and just listen to myself and my body. A couple of weeks ago, my body also, I got a health scare, and I also think it was because of the mounting pressure and tension that I had, and just the level of stress. And I really had to listen to myself and say, hey boo, you need to chill and just relax and make sure that you take care of number one. The one thing that I know it becomes quite difficult, especially in times of difficulty when we're encouraged to do that, is to pray. I've made it a point to actually pray not even when I'm feeling down, but even if I'm feeling great, because it's so much easier to do things when you're feeling good about life. But just take a moment and say, Lord, thank you for everything. Just connect through prayer, even if it's sitting in silence and meditating. That's some form of prayer, because sometimes we think that you have to say a mouthful, but a simple I thank you, Lord, does wonders. I exercise a lot. I think I go to gym at least 3 times a week, and this is my way of releasing any kind of tension that I have. So I really enjoy this, and it's just one thing that has really helped me to recenter my life and my mental state of being. So exercising has helped me a lot. This picture here is of a workstation with a keyboard, a tablet, and food. I have been guilty of doing this ever since I started working, eating at my desk. I'm going to stop, and I think I have stopped. Like, I've done such a great job. I have lunch away from my desk, because you become so consumed with you don't even get to enjoy the food that's in front of you. You don't even get to speak to your colleagues, you know, have light-hearted conversation, because everything is about work. And I've really just changed my ways. I give myself that 30 minutes to 45 minutes of going on lunch and just breaking away from the chains of emails, the tasks, the never-ending lists of tasks that one needs to complete, because it's imperative that you draw a line between work and the time that you're entitled to off from work, whether it's lunch and weekends, right? And I honestly have been guilty of working at home, even on public holidays, even when I'm sick. So eating at my desk is a big no-no in 2019. That's it for me, guys, and my vision for 2019. I really can't wait to hear what your goals and visions for this year are. So comment down below in the comment section like I mentioned earlier on, and if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up. I can't wait to create more content for you guys who subscribe to my channel. So if you haven't, please subscribe so that we can take Through Elle's Eyes to bigger and higher heights in 2019 and forward. I think I'm done. See you later, guys. Love, Elle.